let's develop two awesome jiu-jitsu trips also found in judo, Kouchi Gari and Ouchi Gari. They are both inside-out attacks using either leg. I'll show you in a second. But they're very, very powerful. And why I like jiu-jitsu trips is that it keeps me standing for most of these techniques. That I can then make a choice. Do I go to the ground? Do I run if I'm in a self-defense situation? Do I kick them, etc.? It's very viable. These trips are very viable for all areas of combat. Self-defense, sport, jiu-jitsu, MMA, etc. Very, very powerful. So let's look at two of them and how we can apply them from a variety of different ways. We'll start off grappling and then we'll add some striking, some self-defense applications. So first one I'm gonna work on is Ouchi Gari, and we're gonna start from a 50-50 clinch. To help understand this position, I know this sounds so simple, a 50-50 clinch, but when I've been teaching this series for the past couple of days and week in my class, that this understanding this initial setup is important. First off, I have an underhook, he has an underhook. I have an overhook, he has an overhook. My head aligns on my overhook side, and my underhook side has that leg lead, all right? If you switch it, it would feel weird. If I put my head on the other side, I know how that just feels very awkward. You're gonna kind of have this comfortable fit here. And this is just a reference point that if you ever grappled before, you're in a 50-50 clinch, whether you realize it or not. Okay, my goal is to trip this leg. So we're gonna use a very specific footwork to get there. My left leg's gonna travel to the outside. And as I do that, we're gonna use what we call a lat drag. I'm not gonna take them down yet, I'm just gonna show you what happens. So I step, lat drag. Step, lat drag. Now as I'm doing that, I'm trying to line myself to spear Leon. Boom. So I'm almost getting this perpendicular angle to him where I'm exposing this leg a bit more and I can snake this leg through. The standing version is I'm gonna keep, to show you what I'm gonna do. As I step and pull, my right leg is gonna draw like a half moon. And at the end, I think I'm gonna take my toes on the ground and add a little flare. So, if we do it perfectly, boom, boom, Leon comes down. The hard thing is learning to turn in to your opponent at the end. If I do not kind of turn into Leon and kind of just do this, it's like I'm almost loading myself for the same exact thing. So what we need to do is I think about when I point that way at the end. Step, boom. And now I'm in a very, very powerful position, standing. There's groin, it's gone right there, right? Or we can just pass the guard from sport, run for self-defense, etc. So let's look at that again. This is Ouchi Gari. So I'm gonna step, lat drag, and pull and get right to a style base. I personally struggled with this technique for years. When I learned this as a white belt, it was absolutely one of the hardest connections or feelings for me to get. And I went back to original wrestling. When I tried to do this technique, in original wrestling, we just call it inside trip. Boom, boom. And I would go down to the ground. Great option, right? And I do have the ability to start standing up. What I don't like about the inside trip version where I go to the ground is that, yeah, I'm committed to the ground now. And one of the core tenets I try to take for myself where I am grappling, that ground is a consequence. I want to stay standing as long as possible, passing the guard standing, submitting even standing. But the ground, when I get there, I better know what to do. If not, then I'm into other person's world. And sometimes the ground, even if they don't know what they're doing, can be a sketchy place, right? If you are learning this technique, I'm gonna have Cole and Leon drill in a second together. I would focus on two things. One, developing this movement, and then getting your right foot to connect. Think. Boom, oh, sounds shitty. And because you're trying to time the foot coming in, boom, boom. Right, that was better. And then you start following it and come down. The other version, or what I would also suggest, same exact thing, but now you commit to the ground by sweeping, putting your knee down, and I actually like making sure I get my hand around his knee as I finish. If I don't do that, sometimes it tends to like backstep out. I get this feeling. Doesn't mean I can't do something else after, but I am lost that initial thing. And if I go to the ground and he backstep out, well, that's not good for me. I'm just gonna get bullied right back over. So what I'm gonna have them do right now is a little bit of flow. They'll go one for one, but I want them after they finish the takedown that they're gonna work to progress to a dominant position on the ground. side control, mount, pass the guard, whatever they need to do, did not just end in front of them, but let's progress it a little bit further. So, I'm glad this happened. I should have said earlier. Why did that not work for Leon? Can I use it really quick? Because he let this foot stand or stop. If he gets his foot to stop, I'm not gonna be able to do the traditional one. I can hit my inside trip, no problem, but I won't be able to actually get the true Ouchi Gari feel. They're gonna fuck me up on YouTube by saying Gary. Ouchi Gari, I'm sorry you judo nerds. Ouchi Gari, I can't pronounce words for shit, get used to it. So we're gonna hit that Ouchi Gari and try to stay standing, but you need the foot almost in the air. That's why we call it Ouchi Komi. Well, I wanna get the initial, I'm getting that connection right off the bat. So go ahead. There you go. Yeah, very nice. Yeah, one of the things that I've been trying to put in my students' brain lately is that you have to change your techniques. If I just take someone down and allow them to regain composure, then, well, we're in a new fight scenario. But if I use the momentum, the energy that I'm carrying from my takedown to start progressing into a guard pass to someone else or somewhere else, then it's gonna give me, I don't know, easier feel, easier connection to my techniques instead of having this stop feel. So again. Oh, very nice. Step, lat drag, there it is. Oh, very nice, good. I like how athletic Cole is just fucking skirting around. Like, I'm watching him move, I'm like, God damn it, if I was in my 20s again and abs, it'd be awesome. But I never had abs, so fuck you. I've been giving Cole a lot of shit about his abs lately just because I'm jealous, that's all. And Leon's red beard, because I used to have a red beard. It's white now. Better. Think about almost like, it's like almost like you're drawing it, like a flare at the end. And that flare, like, spins me. You know what I mean? Ooh, that was nice to see right off the bat. Very nice job. I think it was Travis Stevens. If you don't know who Travis Stevens is, look him up. I think he's a Olympics golds, no, I think a bronze or silver medalist. But he talks about this technique, and I believe he references this, like taking his toe on the ground, and like drawing it in a half circle or half moon. And when I heard that tip, it instantly changed my Ouchi Gari. I was like, oh, now I understand it. Now I can use it. So if I bring up the leg too high in the beginning, it's like you're attacking too much like muscle and strength. It's to knock the leg out of the way. We're trying to have this like inside like hook feel. You know, that's what really makes it work. Like almost like Achilles to Achilles. Yeah, very nice. And the more you step, and I almost feel like as you're stepping, it's like you're loading that right foot. You know, it has to be fairly, not sharp, but committed. You know what I mean? You know, sharp, committed, like you are, it's a boom, boom, a combination. It's like a left, right. Almost like it's white. Yeah, that's better, that's better. You almost have to have the feeling like you're like allowing that right leg to stay where it is, because I was watching students do this the other night, that they stepped and retracted this leg, and now they have to go back in. So we have to have this like, boom, boom. So I don't really change the position of the right foot, just a little bit of the angle. Much better, that was clean. Good, good, good. Right foot step, there we go. Ah, good, good. Much better, very nice. We'll get around the guard, good, good, good. Just get that feeling progressing. I know we're isolating the Ouchi Gari right now, but still want to see that. One more time. Oh, that was probably your best one, that was smooth. Okay, now let's have them bring it to the ground. So they're gonna go for that inside trip, same thing. Flare it, now that right hand is gonna come to the behind your opponent's knee to make sure you kind of trap them in place. Step, good. And it still has that, can I use you, Leon, real quick? Inside trip, really, if you watch the best wrestlers do this, if they really turn in at the end, you know, they're like whipping almost their hips and their body like into that. That's what really like gets that momentum, that energy to knock them over. I really wanna, I wanna like spear them at the end. I don't wanna still be at an angle. Yeah, almost like try to turn your right hip in more so you're almost like completely flat to them at the end. It almost has this like, ooh, feeling, you know? Step. Much better, I see you getting there. Yep, right I do. That's why I'm helping that right hand come to the knee on the drop. You don't need it, you don't. It's just like a security blanket. And I just feel like it's smart, because when I've tried this one without the right hand, with that hand coming to the knee, I have been countered on it. And but once you get the knee, the connection to the leg as you're taking them down, it's like securing the takedown. Do I keep the same curl, the same bend, as a traditional Ouchi Gari. Okay, a little bit of blending of the two, but not bad. But it also helps, guys, if I take a shallow step and try to do it, I'm not really gonna get that like swinging pendulum feeling, and you're almost gonna exaggerate by stepping way far. Like you're sort of really gonna bring him around. So now as you do it, boom, and finish. Boom. I'll tell you what, for starting though, you're actually getting a nice Ouchi Gari, just the traditional one, and you're adding a little finish at the end, but that's what I like, okay, because they're different martial artists, different body feels, different like interpretations, and different whatever instincts. That the traditional one might work for him, and the inside trip, wrestling version might work for him. But as a martial artist, as when you're training these, you have to figure out for yourself which feels easiest in the beginning, which feels natural to you, then you develop that skill more. Then as things progress, you maybe add the other one in. Prime example, when I try to do Ouchi Gari as a white belt, I struggled with it, so I went to the inside trip. Then as I got better, I started understanding the principles of Ouchi Gari, drawing that moon, etc., turning those hips in, and it became a more viable technique to do standing. Now let's go in to a little bit of combinations off that Ouchi Gari before we go into Kouchi. We talked about it earlier that one of the things that might happen is that I will lose this leg, that I get him to move, but he back steps out, okay? Well, now he's loaded himself right here. The other week or so, we did an awesome video on Osoto Gari. So I would just take this leg through, boom, and I can now just hit my Osoto. Easy, boom. I go to Kosoto Gaki after. I'm definitely gonna get raped for that name too. So boom, boom, I miss it, step. Now I'm in my Kosoto. What's cool about trips is that we can chain very easily to something else. You attack one way, you go the other way. You attack one thing, it counters into the opposite. In fact, right before we started this video, Cole and Leon were just playing a little, it was a Wing Chun influence game? Yeah, about tripping and actually chaining a little bit, just because it's fun. Let's have them do that right now, and why don't you walk through what drill you're doing, because I thought it was kind of interesting.
One arm's gonna be inside, and he's gonna have one inside arm. And so we can use these to steer each other. And so we initially start it by, I just try to trip his leg, he backs out. And we just use different tripping methods.
What was interesting about that, what I liked right off the bat, why I wanted to bring it in, was that you saw they were attacking almost every single type of sweep or trip that they could, instinctually. It wasn't even a particular technique. It was like, yeah, try that way, or do this one or that one. And it got very chainy. So you're not just stuck to one technique over and over again. Have you ever done that in a 50-50 clinch before?
No, but.
So let's try the same exact thing. And then see if they can do that instead of that little longer kind of drill approach. Now let's get a 50-50 clinch and have them have that same feeling where they're just working trips. It doesn't matter which trip they do, they just try to snag a leg and take them down. All right, go ahead. Playful, guys, playful. Interesting, very nice. So very, very cool drill. I'm probably gonna have to do that in class because it's just smart. And what I liked again earlier was their variety of different attacks. You could tell it got a little more grappling once they started making that clinch, and how they're manipulating the structure of each other on upper body connection actually really made the trip happen for Cole at the end. He hit that Osoto Gari because he had a nice step off, he had an angle change, loaded Leon quickly on that leg, was able to get that trip. So very, very cool drill. We'll definitely have to do it again. Let's add some combinations into the Ouchi Gari. So same thing, let's have one of you guys attack Ouchi Gari first, the other one will defend by kind of stepping out, and then give me a counter to his step out. Does that make sense? Let me see. So nice and smooth. He back steps out, and then what do you want? Oh, nice. Kosoto, very nice. Ah, walked in for Osoto, very good. Sure, I love that he did it. I was thinking about that too. It's like, fuck, why? We don't always have to stay on trips when we're attacking that, okay, the trip lined up something else, so just fucking double leg them, There's nothing wrong, and I think you should be doing this as a grappler, as a stand-up grappler. It behooves you to have some wrestling as well. Judo is excellent. Japanese Jujitsu is excellent, right? But when you add the wrestling component into it, it's like it blends everything together. I say often that if you look at Japanese Jiu-Jitsu and Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, wrestling is almost that glue and that connection sometimes that just makes it all just flow and feel natural. Okay, let's go on to Ouchi Gari now. We're gonna do this one off of an arm drag or a 2-on-1, and we're gonna mirror our lead. So I'm gonna go left leg lead, Leon's gonna go left leg lead. And I'm just gonna start off with a 2-on-1 grip. And I will show you the striking version of this in a second, but right now let's just go pure grappling. I go 2-on-1 and I get heavy. Boom. He pulls his arm out. I'm gonna shuffle step and I snake my inside Achilles behind his Achilles, and I drop my chest on his knee and I go down, okay? You are committed to the ground on this one. I actually like pinching my knees at the end, secure it. And what we did the other night is I had Leon chain in the half guard to give himself some defensive position. Here, boom, and right here. Where you can screw this one up is by not clearing my left arm to the outside of his hips. Let me show you what I mean by that. Here, boom. Now I leave my left hand in the middle. I've exposed my back and Leon quickly chains into the next position. So what I have to do is after I finish, or once I start taking him down, my left arm clears to the outside. Boom, here. Now, it's much harder for him to get to my back. You'll see this a lot if I use an arm drag approach. Say Leon reaches out, inside out. I hit my arm drag to Kouchi, but I left my arm here, so Leon redrags me, and takes my back. So if you are gonna use that arm drag, clear, and now you're into a nice solid position. The footwork's important in this one, and you saw what happened with Leon. If I'm here and I don't move my right foot, that doesn't look strong, does it? I'm not kicking him down. So you have to find the timing, pull, bink. Now I have a burst foot. Easy to finish. So footwork is so important on everything. And if we are gonna shoot into that low level line, into the legs, having an extra boom. You know, you think about old school wrestling, you're working a shot, bam, bam, bam. You know, that's the kind of that feeling that you get as burst foot. You snake it in, and you do that like during, I pull, boom, he pulls up, you're going. You're moving your left foot first, then your right. Gotcha. Try to move your rear foot first. That was the third, yeah. So slow it down. Think about pull, and he's not, listen, if he doesn't do anything, you just keep fucking pulling him to the ground, you know, it's easy. But you know as well as I do, if you pull someone, they're gonna pull back. Better go. That's it. Pull. There you go. Really try to get the feeling like pulling that arm down. Yeah, that was better. Since it is a low attack, and let me show you guys the thought process. That if I come in high on this, just here. If I come in like on a high line, there's no way I'm knocking him over. I'm running into his strength. So we're trying to get down here, so I feel like I'm trying to get almost like my sternum to rest on his quad. See that? That's what's bringing him down. Principle is isolation, pressure. That's what actually makes it happen. It's not a hip power, like I'm not going into his hips. I'm going into his thighs, his legs. It's like a double leg, right? Boom. But I'm adding in the leg. Boom. But I gotta get my level change low. Pull, right leg comes in. Yes, go. Better. Probably the best one. You know, think about it. I've isolated something. This is the most easiest place to drop him. If I come into his hips or upper body, that's not gonna have the same power. Don't think about it. I was thinking about my double leg, right? When I do double leg, I'm trying to line my shoulder to that hip to drive through, almost like a tackle feel. But this one, we're trying to get even almost lower. Your best one, by far. Every trip takedown throw has an apex point where he's going down, it's inevitable. It's your not job, like your feel is like, when that happens, like you are now like either getting ready to chain or you stop, you stop your progression. Like it's like I threw like, whatever I did, just give me Ouchi Gari real quick. It's like I threw Ouchi Gari, but like I'm like going down with him, like I'm stuck. Like now I'm like I'm in a ground battle. Like I'd rather just stay standing or in a control position. You know, am I making sense? Yeah. So try to like after you on this one. So after I finish, kind of just I'm ready. You know, instead of being all the way across. When I do this, I think about I stomp. You know, so it's like I'm almost shooting and together. But like it's like that, you know. Now, this is also a great technique, I believe, for MMA. That I can use a jab, boom, jab, boom. Now I'm hiding my right foot on my second jab, jab, boom, boom, right through the hole. Very, very easy takedown, but you have to have that space, that distance. So last time we used a pulling the arm to kind of mask that foot. Now, right through the hole. My old coach, Luigi Mondelli, used to call it Jake down. Your jab, we're going like almost that takedown feeling at the same time, getting his body weight up. So that first jab was here, boom, boom. Now, right through the hole. Not bad. Yeah, it's because we're so used to moving with our left foot, the jab, boom, boom. It's like you have to counter.
Would you almost like jam it into them?
On the second one, that's a Jake down feel. So, boom, get hands up, boom. And I'm like, it's almost like a post, but a stiff jab, but you're almost like up jabbing, adding that level change and burst foot at the same time. It's a definite weird footwork pattern, but great setup to get to Kouchi. Yeah, that was clean. Not bad. Guys, we remember, we're live learning, let's put it that way. As always, I say in these videos, you're not supposed to be perfect. When you're learning something new, that's why I like working with these guys, not having me do the technique all the time. It's like, you can see real time them figuring it out and working it out. So as a martial artist, you should be doing the same thing. Don't shy away from something because you're not gonna get it right off the bat, because it doesn't feel easy right off the bat. Watch videos like this, study, get a good training partner, and just rep through it, work it and work it and work it, play with it, and you'll find things that work for you.